Okay, Thursday morning in the kingdom, and it's warm out here. It feels warm and everything. Yes, but on the scale, on the weather network, it says it's minus 16, but feels like minus 22. That's lies. It feels warmer out here. Yes, and then on the yo-yo scale, plus 3 Celsius. Plus 3 Fahrenheit, but feels like minus 8. Oh, these lips are suffering today, and the brain hurts. I don't know why. All right, first off, I made a mistake yesterday when I was talking about the antifreeze capacity of the TD6, known as the curse of reverse. It's not 9 liters. It's not a Nissan or a Toyota or a Kia car. It's 9 jugs, and a jug to us is a gallon. Yes, a gallon, which is 4 point some odd liters or something. I don't know. All right. Okay. Also, yeah, read my writing here. Also, I did not get to see any pictures from the ex-fiancée. Yes, I had 3 chances to figure out the color of her nail polish, and guess what? Who would have thought the most popular nail polish color of 2023? Oh, man, I'm screwing up. All right, it's natural pink. Yes, natural pink nail polish. Why would you paint your nails pink or natural pink? Who would have thought that up? Especially a colorblind guy. You figured it was red, sex me red, black, dark black, whatever. Or what is it, that lime green? But natural pink. So once again, I didn't get to see any pictures because I failed as a man to answer the question correctly the 3rd time, or the 3 tries. Oh, now I know how that guy felt when he had that genie's lantern or whatever. All right, seems I'm screwing up big time. Look at that. Yes, order from Westran Sir Rodney and get 24 hours later. It was in the mail yesterday. Isn't that excellent? That's because the 1,200 kilometers to the south had good road conditions, good weather conditions, good everything. The driver showed up sober, drove the vehicles, everything. It was a good day. So when you're not expecting the parts, they arrive in 24 hours. When you need the part, guess what? A week later and it comes damaged. Yes, that's the world we now live in. All right, let's screw up this intro even more. All right, over here, there's some sun somewhere. I don't know where it is. All right, and then we'll go over here. I did start the wood stove. It's probably gone out. Oh, look, we have some wood smoke for the Swedish kid, the Swedish young lady. Oh, hopefully my day improves because I can't even do an intro sober. I don't know. Maybe I better go have my 2nd cup of coffee with some vodka in it. Titty vodka, so I can have happy thoughts of the good old days. Yes, well, I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, busy morning saving the studs here because I had to buff around the tops here and then chase the threads. We had the tap and dye, no, the dye part out and chased, and we're able to save them. We have a bad one right here that the threads are kind of ooey iffy. Oh, hand and eye coordination, sorry. Okay, kind of iffy there, but that's no problem. Also too, when you come to fine tune these motors and you shake your head why they don't run too good, look at the cups down there. All right. The little ports are supposed to face down to the piston, not every which way but where they're supposed to go. Oh well, but this is just a junker head. If we can get it up and running, we'll test out a thermostat housing on it and see what we can do. All right, let's get the injectors in so they can sit over lunch while we have an enjoyable meal. Yeah, right, we're having craft dinner again. Oh well, it's like I'm married. Okay, once again, it's late lunch, but the injector cups are in with lots of never sees, and the injectors are in with lots of never sees, and the fuel lines are on without lots of never sees. Yes, all right, let's go have some lunch, stock up the stove, and then after lunch, we'll finish bolting the dash and everything back together, the air cleaner and crap, and then we'll work on the thermostat housing. We're going to perform some magic. Hopefully, Jack Daniels will be consulting with us. Okay, now we're busting our tushy really quick to get the thermostat housing modified. Okay, first off, we have to thank the Kingdom followers and YouTube subscribers for the amount of detail and effort they put in typing with 2 fingers or 1 finger on the replies, the comments, and the emails, because it's very important that the invisible followers learn, okay? All right, what upsets me the most is what it comes over as the replacement. All right, so you look up this part number for this thermostat, and then they say this is the replacement. Okay. I grew up watching Sesame Street, and these two are not the same. Okay, see this here? Yeah, not the same. So, okay. All right, let's get back to regular schedule programming. I printed off and enlarged the picture book of the IH cats. And it states right over here in the writing, when the thermostat reaches 90 degrees Fahrenheit, okay, it's a 190 thermostat, the thermostat closes the bypass, okay? The bypass is the dotted line here. So it keeps the circulating of the engine antifreeze, okay? And that was mentioned lots in the comments and emails. You have to have circulation because the engine will be hot at one end, cold at the other. So once this thing opens up, it closes it off, and then all the antifreeze goes to the rat. All right, so over here, we have proved that with this here, with the scratch marks, all right? So that means it's closed off, which happens when this opens up, and this opens up fairly wide, which closes off this port, which is this. All right. So the next thing we have to do is make something that I can take apart and throw in the bush and curse and swear because the cat's overheating. So welding these ports shut or anything like that. Plus, we have to make something that doesn't fall into or disappear into the water pump. So here's your thermostat that we're upgrading to the 180s, and we put the bypass hole right there. All right. So we drilled it out with the 1-inch drill bit, and then we die grind it because that's a very thin casting. So as you're drilling away, it grabs and flips you off to, knocks you over. So this will go on here like this. This is the bypass stopper, okay? So this is the bypass stopper. So now it'll act like a car. Everything will stay in here and circulate around to the motor, back and forth. This here, it goes in here. And notice I noted drill hole. So we have a breather hole for pouring the antifreeze in that'll let it escape, all right, the air out. But we have enough, imperfections here that this will let the air go. And we will have a little bit of circulation. So the whole idea is this to jam in here. All right, let's see if we got enough talent here. All right. Now, we flip this over. Voila. Oop, voila. That looks pretty good. So now we got my hole right here. Oh, stick my finger in there. There's the thermostat. There's the bypass hole. And there it comes out here. All right. Let's get some gaskets made, get this together so we can go for a test drive and make it more than 15 feet outside the shop with a bad cylinder head. Oh, well, we're having fun. Oh, that was a waste of a half an hour trying to get this stupid thing to start. The impulse isn't flipping on this mag and everything like that. So all it does is go pit, 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 and then quits. Pit, 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 quits. That's exactly what it's done since the day is new, or arrived here as it being junk. Oh, this thing is just upsetting me. Like we should have scrapped this thing. All right, taking a loss of $6,000, and then we got exhaust coming out. This injection cup here. So that means I got to stack the washers in there. So it was nice. It was nice to get it running to know if it would even run. Now I got to take it apart, put the rings back, or more rings into the cup, and then figure out why this magneto impulse isn't flipping. Go get another mag, try it. Total waste of time. I have spent so much freaking time on this cat to even get it to start. I am so upset at this thing. You know, maybe I should cube it just like that promo bike. Oh, that was junk.
Thursday morning in WHO-ville, and it's just after 8:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready to head to work. As you can see, we have a bit of a sunrise coming up, but it's hiding behind the clouds. It's still pretty warm out, so it'll most likely snow again today. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and get to work. 12:30 and I'm just finishing up lunch. I just had soup and a sandwich again, also subbing grade 3-4 as well. It's been a pretty good morning. They did a lot of work. Now it's time to let the dogs back in and head back to work. Just after 4 p.m. and I made it home from work. It was a pretty good day, substituting grade 3 and 4. I'm in there tomorrow as well, but they only have a half day. But I go back after lunch and do a few things and get stuff ready for Monday. Now it's time to get the Skidoo and head on over to the Kingdom and see what he's up to. I have his dog treat cups and bread in the bag down there as well. So let's get the Skidoo out and head on over. 4:30 and I just made it to the kingdom. Now I'll head on down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. I'm not sure what we're gonna do today, but I guess I'll find out. Almost 5 o'clock and I just finished shoveling off the famous black cat here and then the 45 way over there into the distance. We are going to park the 45 back in its spot beside the green toy, and then we're going to take Kijiji out of the shop and put the famous black cat in there. That way my dad can do a service on it and stuff. So when we go do snow and pack the trails and stuff, we can use this cat because it is smaller and it has a good blade on it. Now I'll head on into the shop and see if my dad's ready to start Kijiji. Just got Kijiji started and pulled it out of the shop. Now my dad's going to get the famous black cat going and put it in the shop so he can work on it. He's just checking over Kijiji right now to make sure everything's good and nothing's leaking. He's going to put the hood on it later, not this very second because it's not snowing or anything, so it's okay. Once we're done with the filming and stuff, then I think he'll put the hood back on. So let's get the famous black cat started. Change of plans, we are going to hook Kijiji up to the chain drag and pull it around the cabooses in the front of the house here. We might try and go down the south trail behind the plane here and all that as well, if we can get into the bush, because the snow's getting pretty deep in there for my dad to walk the dogs. Once we're done that, then we'll get the famous black cat going and put it into the shop. Had to switch to my dad's Me phone since my phone is dying. It is kind of chilly out here for the poor battery on the phone, but that's okay. That's why we have two of them. So now I'm on my dad's phone here, so I'm not sure if it will sound any different or if the video quality will get any better or not, but I guess I'll find out when I look back at the videos later. Looks like we are going to get the 45 started and move it out of the way. My dad's just closing the gate. Since we used Kijiji to drag the south trail, we had to open the back gate. So he'll just close the gate, then we'll get the 45 started, drive it out here, hopefully it doesn't get stuck, and then he's going to back it into the parking spot right there. Doesn't have any mirrors either, so I might have to help him back up, but that's okay. I can multitask, film, and guide him back. Very surprised my dad was able to back it into the parking spot with no drama. We were both expecting it to get stuck and then we'd have to move with the famous black cat, but at least it's parked next to the extension cord and the plug-ins right here off to the side. So when we need it next time, or if we have to get the green toy out, we just plug it in right there. Now it's out of the way, we can get the famous black cat started and put it into the shop. Just after 6 p.m. we officially got the famous black cat started. I didn't record it starting because it was having issues, but at least we were able to figure it out and get it started. Good thing it's going into the shop so my dad can figure out what was going on. Now he'll move it out of the way and we can get it into the shop where it's nice and warm. 1:15 and we're just finishing up in the kingdom. My dad parked Kijiji in front of the shop, that way he can put the hood back on and keep tinkering around with it. At least there was no steam show this time, so that's pretty good. Now it's time to head into the house, grab my dog treats, head on back into WHO-ville and do the weather. Just made it back from the kingdom and I already put the skidoo away. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and do the weather. As you can see, the street lights are already coming on and it's getting pretty dark out, so I'm glad I made it back when I did, or else I would have had to put a flashlight on the front of the Polaris just to make it back from the kingdom. 6:30 and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's negative 15 degrees Celsius, which is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It's been pretty nice out today, other than the wind picking up at the very end here. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in, and end my day.
Okay, we got Kijiji running. All right, so here's the mag for Kijiji. All it would do was go putt putt. It wouldn't continue on. That's because the impulse is putting it out of time, okay? And then I went to the shed and grabbed this one here, and it was tested on Kijiji, and it ran the same, okay? Putt, 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 putt. So then everybody will think it's the carburetor. Well, it's not the carburetor. The carburetor is just a mixing device. And then when I was carrying the bag from Communist Cat over, I dropped it. So that's what happens there. So I didn't cry. I went and got another one. All right, so in 2017, yeah, okay. 2017, it was put in the bag. It says new plug wires, new whatever, yada, new weak spark. Put it on, and Kijiji fired right up. Yes, totally different. Okay, so that's what I say. It's the impulse that gives everybody the dramas, but everybody thinks it's the carburetor. Okay, so now we started it 3 times with this weak magneto. Okay, so we'll call it the Lemmy mag. Okay. It was born a loser, but it lived to win. It got the cat up and running. So it started good. All right, so let's go out and look at Kijiji. Okay, for the first time ever since 2019 when we got him up and going, this rat is not covered with antifreeze, okay? Because it was the bubble machine. All it did was bubbles, and then when you idled it down, it would overflow and everything like that. So this pitted head we put on is running good. All right, we know that number 3 is weak. We cracked the injector and it doesn't really help it, but right now we can work on the machine to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, and it was number 3 when Kijiji had its original cracked head on it. So now we can play with it, and also too, I don't think the governor's kicking in because it won't load up. All right, so now with the pitted head on it, it's working. We didn't have it running long enough to see at the temperature gauge to work or anything like that. I'm not sure if that thermostat is working, but we didn't have massive amounts of water movement in the rat here. But the main thing is he's out of the shop, and we got the famous black cat in. Okay, the famous black cat is in the shop to thaw out, and then with that V-plow with the wing on it, we needed to open our trails up because it kind of snowed in. But he also needs a little bit of love, and we're finding out he doesn't start if you idle him up. He has to be in an idle to start, so we got to start adjusting the carburetor. Adjusting the carburetor back in September doesn't make sense. We have to adjust it when it's cold. So he's in the shop. We've had to bust our tushy and get it done. So we're very pleased that he's in to thaw out, and Kijiji's finally out of the shop. Oh, the dramas of that cat. I think I'm going to rename him one of my ex-wives. Okay, turning the 45 Chevy around to worship the sun gods. Yes, now the sun will shine on the windshield and it won't be all frosted up or iced up. All right, let's see what we got going over here. As you can see, we put some wood in the stove. We're in a low pressure system and the stove is not burning. We got wood. It's not burning. It's just unreal. We had the fan on the stove most of the day blowing, but that's par for the course. Oh, the joys of living at Wilderness, Alaska, but better known as Northern Manitoba. All right, so look at the flags. They're in their natural state of being limp. All right, we had a good day. Kijiji's out. We didn't screw up the injector studs or anything like that. He runs, he drives, and he doesn't have a steam show going. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some more beer, and make a video. Talk to you later.